Kevin Harvick, the winner of this past Sunday's Real Heroes 400. Kevin, 6 million viewers watching at home. That's a Daytona 500-like number, but no one in the grandstands. What was that experience like for you, racing without anybody in the grandstands?
Yeah, well, for me, it was the most unique and really caught my attention the most when I got out after the race, because as a driver, you know, during the race, there's really not that much difference of what you see and don't see in the grandstands other than a flashbulb, you know, and so getting out after that race and have all that excitement and enthusiasm built up and nobody to share it with, I realized how much we actually feed off of the crowd in the things that you say, the things that you do, and it was very awkward for me after the race because, you know, I didn't really know what to do because there wasn't anything to feed off of. So not being able to see my guys' faces behind their masks on pit road, nobody in victory lane, it was a very different situation. But I think as you look at the job that NASCAR did and everybody in the industry to get our sport back on track, they did a great job keeping everybody safe, and we were able to go back to work.
Look, it's a victory you'll never forget for a lot of reasons. You guys, NASCAR, helped bring us back a little bit of normalcy as we try to recover from this pandemic. And for you individually, your 50th career win, only 14 drivers have done that. What's it like to be in that elite company?
Well, there's definitely, I feel, a sense of responsibility there when you put your name next to Ned Jarrett's and, you know, the likes of the Jarrett family. Junior Johnson, obviously, is the other. And those guys are both Hall of Famers and both have meant so much to this sport. So the first thing that I did was ask myself, have you done enough to live up to the expectations of what those guys did for the sport and carrying that responsibility forward and making sure that you remember that. So it's a good reality check for me. Obviously, I've been very fortunate to be competitive and win a bunch of races, but there's way more responsibility to our sport than just winning races. Are we going to be able to hand it off, you know, to the next generation of guys so that they can carry it forward? So it definitely brought a lot of that thought process to me as I hear people talking about those names.
Now you're right back at Darlington tomorrow night on FS1 Toyota 500, and you're driving the same car that you drove on Sunday. What went into that decision, and what are the risks involved?
Yeah, that's old school. We normally, it takes about a month and a half to turn the car around. The guys have been in a unique situation at the shop with all the new no qualifying procedures, and they didn't work for a few weeks because of everybody being locked out of the shop during this pandemic. So it also helps us catch up. You know, from a performance side, you're very comfortable with that car and feel like you can make good adjustments on it. But it also gives us a little bit of padding as we go into these next several races, racing Sunday, Wednesday, to have a little cushion on your car count and not put the guys in the shop in a bind. So, look, for me, they all fit the same, right? And you got to have faith in what the guys are bringing to the racetrack. All my seats are custom. My dashers are the same. Steering wheels are the same. So that's what they wanted to do. And I'm a team guy, so whatever they say, I'm buying into what they say, and let's go do it again.
Now, you mentioned no qualifiers for this Wednesday's race, so the top 20 finishers are inverted. So that puts you in the 20th spot. You have any issue with how NASCAR is handling this?
Look, we were the points leader going into this, and typically during a rainout or some of these instances, they would line the field up by points. And, you know, I think everybody just assumed that they were going to do that. But I think there's a responsibility here to make this entertaining, because we are in the entertainment business. And we need to make sure that it doesn't look the same on pit road every time, with the same guys having the first pit stall, the same guys starting up front. So in this particular instance, I'm for it. I think it's going to add some excitement and definitely some, you know, we've already got some speaking points and talking points for the media and the fans to talk about before we even get to the race. So if we can create an event before we even have the event and some talking points around it, that's always going to be a good thing for the show.
Kevin, you mentioned old school and turning the car around that quickly, but Kevin Harvick and all these racers, 4 races in 11 days, that's really old school. What have you done to prepare yourself for this kind of workload?
Yeah, well, I tried to start preparing myself as we got into, this break. And, I've tried to ride my road bike a lot more than I ever had before. It was really a goal of mine to try to do in the past. And now I just told myself, I said, you got to do something different to make yourself be mentally prepared for whatever's in front of you, be physically prepared. So, I've tried to, put some serious miles in on the road bike. I've tried to become a better runner. And then I've got a 7-year-old and a 2-year-old here that I have to entertain as well. So really, that's the motivator in the workout. So my 7-year-old and I make him run 2 miles every morning. So I go with him, and so we've tried to stay active. And the most important thing for us is hydration. I do a few different things. I use a lot of red light therapy with the Juve machine, and just try to take care of yourself from a fitness standpoint as I would whether I'm in or out of the car from a cardio standpoint.
Kevin, we're out of time. Thank you so much. On your way out, I'm a degenerate gambler.
Brother.
I'm going to be betting on Wednesday. Give me a thumbs up if I should double down on Kevin Harvick or not and win some money that way on my Fox Bet app. Give me a thumbs up if I should bet on Kevin Harvick.
Look,
we got to keep it moving.
I'm never
Uncle Jimmy's.
That's right.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. And be sure to check out more of the best clips from Speak For Yourself or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.